Good morning, everyone. I see that somebody is connecting to audio, so I will let you get situated before we kick things officially off. My name is Hadiza Sa-Aadu. I am the small business and nonprofit specialist at the Kansas City Public Library. And joining me today is Sheila Forrester of the Small Business Administration. And what we are going to be talking about today is, as you can see in the title, our resources to help start, grow, or expand your business. In the waiting room, all right. So if you have any questions throughout our presentations, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Or if you have a comment, please feel free to do that as well. I'm going to cover just briefly our agenda so you guys have an idea of what we're going to be covering today. Okay, so we've got another person. Apologies for the awkward pause. I'm just making sure that this latest participant is in. There we go. All right, so our agenda for the day, I'm going to be kicking things off with the content, and we are going to be diving a little bit into the Kansas City Public Library digital catalog, and I'm going to be talking briefly about 4 different resources that can help you at the beginning of your small business or entrepreneurship journey, as well as resources that can help you mid-journey and beyond. And then I'm going to kick it off to Sheila, who's going to talk extensively about the SBA and the types of resources that are available to the public through the SBA. Right, and so without further ado, I don't have real slides, so what I have here are links direct to these 4 resources, and what we're going to start with is the Gale Business Plan Builder. So I'm going to click on this link here. And as it's opening, I'm just going to talk a little bit about this tool, if it will open. Okay. So the Gale Business Plan Builder is a part of a suite of tools under a business called Gale. That's why the word Gale is listed there. And what this tool is focused on is basically helping people who are either new to small business or nonprofit or somewhat established, basically to help them get everything down as far as the ideas go and start to establish a business plan and refine it. And then beyond that, it's designed to help people who are more established as far as getting everything together with the finances if it's time to go to a loan officer or another source of outside investment. So I need to make sure that I'm using the correct screen here since it pulls up on Internet Explorer. So if you just bear with me for a second, I'm going to pull up Gale Business Plan Builder. Okay. Okay. So right now let me just make sure, can everybody see the Kansas City Public Library home screen? Just a nod.
I can.
Okay, awesome. So this is just to show you how to access our digital catalog and everything that's in it. So you will start on the Kansas City Public Library homepage at kclibrary.org here in the URL. Let me try to get this off the screen. Okay. Where we're going to go is on the right-hand side here of this white navigation bar. And we're going to hover over resources/research. And when we do that, all of the resources that we have digitally come up alphabetically. So as you might remember, which very likely you don't, since the screen is not up, we're going to start with Gale Business Plan Builder. So we're going to G. And the first entry we see is Gale Business Entrepreneurship. This is a related product. We're not going to focus on that right now, but if you do want to know about it, Gale Business Entrepreneurship is a useful tool as far as finding definitions and information pretty much about jargon around entrepreneurship. We're not going to cover that today, but that's just for your knowledge. So we're going to Gale Business Plan Builder. We're going to click on More Info. And then once we click on More Info, we get to the page where we learn a little bit more about the resource. So this is true for every single resource that is in the digital catalog. So we'll read here, Gale Business Plan Builder offers personalized tools and guidance to help you build your business, including your business plan, from new entrepreneurs to experienced business owners to nonprofit fundraisers. So this is applicable for everybody that is trying to incorporate in some way. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link that is within this lime green box here called Access Gale Business Plan Builder. And now before I actually click on it, I do want to mention that if you want to use any of these tools away from any library location, you just need to make sure that you have your library card number that starts with 1000, and then your library card PIN, which will be your password. So whatever you set your PIN to be, it's a 4-digit code, that will be your password. And so if you're at home, once you click on this link, it's going to take you to a page that has you put in your library card information to authenticate that you're coming from the library so that they don't try to make you pay for it if you're outside the library. However, if you're inside any library location or using library Wi-Fi, once you click on this, it will take you directly to the tool and you won't need to worry about authenticating with your library card credentials. So I'm going to briefly show you guys what this looks like and just how to access it once you're in the tool. So if you have any familiarity with the any other digital tools in our catalog, what you might see that's different with this is that there's a sign-in button here, which is telling us that you're going to have to create an account, a separate account for Gale Business Plan Builder, not your library card, an account that allows you to access this tool. And the reason why is because you're going to ideally be coming back to this tool over time throughout your journey. Okay, so I'm going to sign in because I already have an account. When you sign in, you're going to set a username and a password with your email address. So that page will look like this, just to show you. You'll set a username with a display name, et cetera, and you'll create the account. I hope this didn't log me out. And okay, there we go. Awesome. Because I don't remember my password. I've been using the autosave for a very long time. Okay, so we're in Gale Business Plan Builder. And as you can see on the left-hand side, you can select if you want this to be for a for-profit business or a nonprofit. So it's applicable to both. If you change it to a nonprofit, the content changes slightly. We'll see that here. So what we're seeing here is founder profile, ideation, break-even analysis, bylaws and strategic plans, and financial projections. So the way you can understand these 5 sections is that they build on each other. So when you're starting off with number 1, it's assuming that you don't really even have an idea yet for your organization or business. And it's helping you just figure out you as a leader, you as a small business owner, and your potential, what skills you already have, what interests you have, how you handle setbacks. It's just kind of an assessment to take stock. So I'll just go back to the for-profit side of things. I want to just very briefly show you module 2, the lean canvas. This is probably one of the most important tools as far as my perspective. as far as just getting your ideas out on paper, and not just having your ideas out on paper, but being able to see the connections between the most important aspects of your business that you're going to be articulating in a business plan later. So I'm not going to cover all of this, but what you're looking at here is a version of what is called the business model canvas. So if you've ever heard of that before in any kind of other business class that you might have taken, or just floating around and you've wondered, what is that? This is what it is. And if you want to schedule a meeting with me, I take one-on-one meetings and I go through this each section with people based off of what their specific situation is. So I know I am breezing through this, but just understand that Gale Business Plan Builder is the tool to help you at the very beginning of your journey. And it stays with you throughout the time that you have finished your business plan, up to the point that you're up and running and you're ready potentially to apply for a loan or get outside funding if that is applicable to you. So the next tool I'm going to show you now is called Legal GPS. And this tool is a godsend. I'm just going to say it like that. As far as just my role, I've been in my role here for a little over 4 years now. And when I started, I got a lot of questions from people that were they didn't know the specifics about getting their business officially registered with the Secretary of State. So once you're actually ready to go ahead and form an LLC, if that's what you want to form, or even form a nonprofit, Legal GPS is going to take you through the exact steps and in the exact order of how to do that. But if you're not exactly sure what kind of entity you even want to set up, Legal GPS is going to help provide clarity on that. So in a nutshell, Legal GPS is a tool that removes the barriers, removes legal barriers, excuse me, for entrepreneurs and business owners by basically providing a series of tasks that help the small business owner or the aspiring small business owner narrow down their options so that they are making the best choices for what their goals are for their business. And so it helps the small business owner decide what to do as far as creating an entity, whether it's going to be an LLC, a corporation, staying a sole proprietor, or becoming a nonprofit. It's going to help the person decide that by presenting a series of information in a strategic way based off of how you answer the questions. And then once you tell the tool, hey, I for sure want to set up an LLC, or, hey, I for sure want to set up a nonprofit, it's going to take you through the exact steps of how to do that, plus all of the additional resources and forms that you will need to have when it's time to actually take things to the Secretary of State. So this is a tool that, if you want to set up a meeting with me again, this is a very useful tool if you're ready to get going as far as just getting things officially off the ground. So I do have to just frame this a little bit because it's a little bit confusing how to access it. So let me go back to our digital catalog. Legal GPS is housed under a tool called Wayfarer. So basically under Wayfarer, Legal GPS is a learning path. And there are 3 other learning paths that you can access through Wayfarer that are not Legal GPS, but you'll see once you actually enter Wayfarer. So I want to access Legal GPS. What happens when I click on that? I get sent to Wayfarer. So on this page, this is where you will create your account with your email address. I already have an account, so what I'm going to do is sign in. Once you're able to sign in, it will take you to a page that looks just like this. And you see that there are 4 different paths here. We have online library, job seeker, learn how to use your Chromebook, and then Legal GPS. So we're going to click on Legal GPS here. And if your screen is not showing the start path button, the trick there is to just zoom out slightly. you're not seeing it, because for some reason you can't scroll. If you're not seeing the button, you're not going to be able to click on it. So that's just for your knowledge. So you'll click on Start Path, and then you can see this wheel here. I use this tool so much with patrons, so every time I log in, I have to like reset it. So when you log in for the first time, it will look like this. You haven't done anything. You'll start on level 1, and it will take you through a series of questions. And I'm just going to show you this right now, just so you understand how it's going to present that information. So I'm just going to answer these with a fake company right now. First question, have you created a legal entity? I'm going to say no. And I'm going to confirm that answer. But I know I want to do a profit company that's going to be an LLC. And I just know for sure I'm going to do that. I already know. So I'm going to say profit company. I am not going to seek outside cash investment in the next 12 to 18 months. So I'm going to answer no. I will be the only owner. So for how many owners, I'm going to answer 1. And now I'm at the end of my questions. If I was less sure, I would have had way more questions to answer. So when I calibrate the GPS, then I get a list of results, and the results page looks like this. So you're seeing a list of tasks basically here. And you're supposed to go in order of how they appear. So the first thing you have to do here is to get to know your GPS. And the point here is to read through all of this and absorb the information. And once you've done that, you mark it complete, and then you're able to go to the next. And you'll do that for each task. And once you're done marking each thing off, then you'll be able to unlock the next level, and it will ask you more pointed questions. And then level 2 will then take you through the nitty-gritty of how to actually set up whatever entity it is that you want to set up. So there's a lot of information here, and there's no way I can even scratch the surface. So again, this is something, if you want to dive deep and you want somebody to be there with you, please set up a meeting with me, and I will be very happy to do this based off of what your specific business idea is. And so I'm going to briefly talk about the last 2 resources, which I'm kind of going to combine as one. These last 2 resources are called Demographics Now and Statista. And these 2 resources help with market research. Whether you're trying to validate a market, or you're trying to pivot an existing business into a new market, or you're trying to tap into a wider pool of customers as far as expanding on your target market. So Demographics Now, I'm just going to show you. We'll click, it's in the D section here. This is another Gale product. We'll click on more info. Then you'll access this tool. You can generate lists of businesses based off of census information. But the main way that I use this tool with people is the maps aspect of it. And again, if you want to really dive into this, schedule a meeting with me. But basically, you can look at different census variables that might apply to your business depending on the competition or the potential customer base, to then generate a heat map over a specific geography. So I'm not going to do all that right now, but this is what it looks like. And the thematic controls include variables that come from the census. So I'll just show you really briefly what those look like. As far as the broad categories, we've got variables that come from the American Community Survey, basic variables, business summary, consumer expenditure, daytime population, geographic identifiers, et cetera. The list goes on. So that's just a taste. And there's also ways to use Demographics Now with other tools that we have that I'm not going to cover today. But they also include Statista, which I'm about to just show you what it looks like. That depending on what you're doing, if you're at the point of, I need to validate the market, or I need to figure out an answer to this question, or I have like a hunch about a certain group of customers that I want to see if I can validate. I also have done this a lot with patrons who have maybe more complex questions that they want to like figure out how to get the information on, or how to bolster a pitch or something like that. That's something I'm very, very keen and happy to work with anybody on. So Statista, this is not just for business owners. It's for anyone that's trying to do any research that needs statistics and infographics. So this tool, you can basically do a keyword search. And if you're in, say, e-commerce, and you're interested in the trends there, you can just start a search with e-commerce and see what comes up. So it will break down the just kind of the array of results and the types of results that you have here. We've got basic statistics, we've got forecasts and surveys, infographics, and topics. And so kind of the sky is the limit here. There's a lot to sift through. I'm not going to cover that right now. I'm really just showing you kind of surface level. This is Statista. This is to help with market research, and especially not just local or not just national market research, but to get more international trends if that is something that you are concerned about with your business or business idea. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Sheila. I'm going to stop my share really quickly and then pull up this PowerPoint, this beautiful PowerPoint that we will share with you all. There's quite a bit of information in it. So it will be useful for you to have after the presentation to reference. If I can just get this all figured out here. Okay, I've got this up. Now I need to open Zoom again. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Yeah, while we're waiting on the PowerPoint, I will be more than happy to provide the PowerPoint in a PDF version to anyone who wants it, or to those who registered.
Okay, can everybody see the screen?
I can. It looks good.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and mute.
Okay.
And
I'll just tell you next when we're ready for the next slide. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sheila Forrester. I'm with the Small Business Administration. I'm located at the Kansas City District Office. We are rather unique because we do provide service to the eastern third of Kansas, which is approximately 28 counties, as you can see on the picture, and then 61 counties for the western half of Missouri. We also have a branch office that is located in Springfield, Missouri. We have one person down there who provides service to the southern portion of Missouri. I want to point out that our Kansas City District Office, we are located downtown Kansas City, right here on Walnut Street, Suite 500. We do have a Twitter account. We've also got a web account, and we just recently joined LinkedIn. A lot of our information on upcoming events for our SBA Resource Partners are usually included or, tweeted out. So be sure to join our page, follow us. That way you can get the latest and best information. Next. The SBA was created in 1953. We are the only federal agency that is dedicated to helping, small businesses. Currently, there are over 33 million small businesses We aid, counsel, and assist to help small businesses start, grow, expand, or recover. Truly, the SBA helps make the American dream of small business ownership a reality. We also help families and businesses recover from natural disasters as well. Next. As I mentioned, just subsequently earlier, there are over 33 million small businesses in the US, compared to 20,516 large businesses. Truly, small businesses are the heart of our communities. Small businesses have accounted for 62% of net new job creation since 1995. If you think about it, really, small businesses pump vitality into our neighborhoods, making them a vibrant place to live, work, and even raise a family. Next. So how do we do it? We work through actually 4 different components, and I will explain these 4 components in the subsequent slide. But first is through entrepreneurial development. We help small business owners through the education, the information, technical assistance, training, and counseling. Also, access to capital. This, of course, is known as business financing. There seems to be a lot of question on capital these days. For those businesses that have maybe ready to scale up and grow even further, they will do it through government contracting or small business certifications. And also, as I mentioned earlier, through disaster recovery. Next. So digging a little bit deeper into entrepreneurial development, the SBA provides free quality education, information, and training to small businesses and entrepreneurs. Now, we don't do that work for you. We only provide the resources and tools so that you can make informed decisions to plan, launch, manage, and grow your business. A lot of that is done through market research, writing your business plan, calculating a startup cost, funding your business, buying an existing business or even a franchise. Also disaster planning, and it seems like the buzzword these days, what we're hearing a lot about, is cyber security. Next. We work through our SBA Resource Partners. SBA funds the following independent organizations that provide the small business trainings and counseling. We offer business advisors and lenders to help small businesses in Missouri and Kansas, and really throughout, the entire continental US at every stage of development. Our partners, resource partners, are there to help you through the mentoring, through the counseling and training, to help you start up and thrive at all stages of the business life cycle. A lot of these, as you see here listed on the screen, we have the small business development centers. They provide access, free counseling, technical development, and they will even help businesses interested in international trade. We've got SBDC located right down the street here on Troost. They are located at UMKC. We've got on the Kansas side through the Johnson County Community College. We've also got SCORE mentors. They operate through SCORE chapters. Kansas City has a great SCORE chapter. This is the nation's largest network of volunteer business mentors. We've got Women's Business Center located in Overland Park, right off of Metcalf. They provide women entrepreneurs, to assist women entrepreneurs, but really they would not turn away even men as well. But it is set up as a women's business center to help women, any of the challenges that they are facing in growing a business. And also, we've got Veteran Business Resource Center. This is for, our veteran and military entrepreneurs, but also to their extended family as well. They will receive business training and counseling through the Veterans Business Resource Center. Next. Access to capital, as I mentioned earlier, is business financing. One misconception is SBA does not make direct loans. That is first and foremost. We make the guarantee on loans, so that we would never compete with our banks. Instead, we set guidelines for loans made by SBA approved lenders. And we have numerous SBA approved lenders throughout the metro for those that are interested in an SBA loan. What SBA does is we reduce the lender risk. The SBA backed loans make it easier for small businesses who might not qualify for conventional loans to get the funding that they need. So you can get an SBA business loan for the purchase of an existing business, for funding for a startup business, construction and leasehold improvements, working capital, even the purchase of machinery and equipment, and also to refinance a business debt. Last year, the SBA provided more than 62,000 loans, totaling over $43 billion to small businesses in 2022. And this was done through our signature lending programs known as the 7A and the 504, which I will talk about in the next slides. Next. The basic eligibility for a small business loan is that it must be organized for profit. They will need to be located in the US. They must be small based on regulatory size requirements, need to demonstrate a need for the desired credit. Owners must be of good character. Also, they must be able to demonstrate the repayment ability through cash flow. And also, SBA guarantee is not a substitute for available collateral. Personal real estate may be required to cover any collateral shortfall if you have at least 25% equity in the real estate. So how much do you have to put down for a startup? Really, SBA needs to know that you have skin in the game, so to speak, but SBA policy requires at least 10% equity injection. However, our SBA approved lenders, they may require more. That is up to them to make that determination. Next. So I'd like to get into a little bit more on the loan programs. The 7A loan program, that is SBA's primary program providing financial assistance to small businesses. The term and conditions that will vary by the type of loan and the lender that you are working with. 504 loans provides long-term capital, fixed rate financing of up to $5 million for major fixed assets, really like for large equipment that would help promote, business growth and job creation. Microloans, SBA microlenders can make loans up to $50,000 for the same uses as 7A loans, except they cannot be used for real estate. The great thing for microloans is that lower credit scores are accepted. However, the SBA does not guarantee any portion of the loans made under the SBA loan program, microloan program. We have AltCap that is local here in Kansas City. That is a known microlender. We've also got Justine Peterson. And if there's anyone that's really interested in microloans, feel free to reach out to me and I can provide you further information. Next. I think we need to go back one. There we go. Okay. As I mentioned, SBA does not make any direct loans, but you may ask, so how do I apply for an SBA loan? Lender Match is a free online tool that connects small businesses with participating SBA approved lenders. You just answer a few short questions, go to sba.gov/lender match, answer a few short questions, and lenders, based upon your answers, you will be matched with any approved lenders. Next. Government contracting and small business certifications. You know, we have a variety of programs to help small businesses compete for federal contracts. You know, and also even for small business certifications. The 8A Business Development Program, it's controlled socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. The Hub Zone is really to help distressed communities. You can go to see if your business qualifies or is located in a Hub Zone program by going to the link that is listed below at maps.certify.sba.gov. We've also have women-owned small business program. This makes it easier for women-owned companies to compete and win for federal contracts. We've got service-disabled, veteran-owned small business programs, and also small disadvantaged business programs. One thing that I need to point out is that SBA helps the firms or businesses get certified for the first three. You know, the other two, the veteran-owned and the small disadvantaged, are self-certified. And one key is certification does not guarantee that you will receive a contract. You know, that work is up to the small businesses. Next. The U.S. government is the largest single purchaser of goods and services in the world. In fiscal year 2021, the federal government spent more than $566 billion on prime contracts. Now, of those prime contracts, the federal government must set aside 23% contract dollars for small businesses. They have to do that. Next. So what types of small businesses benefit? As you see, it's broken down. 154 billion went to small businesses. You know, they buy everything from the federal government does, from, you know, torpedoes to toilet paper. But to break that down, it is required a 5% goal for small disadvantaged businesses. That equated out to over $62 billion. 5% goal went towards women-owned small businesses. They received over $26 billion. 3% was for the Hub Zone businesses. Those businesses located in a designated Hub Zone, over $14 billion. And 3% was for goal towards the service disabled veteran-owned small businesses, just over 25 billion. In Kansas City district office area, over $1 billion were awarded to prime contracts to local businesses. So that quite a bit. Next. Surety bonds, really this surety bonds guarantees the bid and the performance payment issued by certain surety companies. Surety bonds will help small businesses win contracts by providing the customer with a guarantee that the work will indeed be completed. Many public and private contracts require surety bonds, and these are offered by surety companies. The SBA guarantees surety bonds for certain surety companies, which allows companies to offer surety bonds to small businesses that really might not meet the criteria. Next. And as we all know, disasters, everything from, pandemic to hurricanes, tornadoes. Each year, the SBA provides billions of dollars in low interest, long-term disaster loans to help small businesses, homeowners, and even renters recover from declared disaster. As I mentioned, during the COVID pandemic, SBA assisted millions of small business owners with billions of dollars of low interest through, EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and Payment Protection Program. But as you can see with the graphics listed, loans may cover real estate, personal property, economic injury, machinery and equipment, inventory, and help those with the active duty military. Next. As I mentioned, I'm with the Kansas City district office. If you're wanting more information about, the programs that I mentioned or the SBA, please contact us. We are here to help you. We have a lending relations specialist. They work with a lot of the banks here in Kansas City and beyond, even Springfield, Missouri. Our contracting, as I mentioned, with the 8A and the women-owned and veteran-owned contracting department has Carolina Vargas and Aubrey Salazar. And listed below is outreach, is myself and Jamila Ward. This is just a screenshot of our email, but if you need more information, feel free to reach out to me. Next. And we always ask, we like to know, how are we doing? Please take a minute. You have the QR code on the screen. You can capture that with your phone. If you take a picture and just answer a few short questions to let us know how we are doing. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you all for joining live. Just so that you know, there will be playback of this available once it's put on YouTube. So I will be sharing that with everybody who registered, including all of you that are live today. And I will also be sharing my contact information, which will include a link that will have you be able to schedule a meeting with me. So if you want to go over anything one-on-one, as well as anything as far as the resources that SBA offers, I can absolutely talk about resources that I know that Sheila has mentioned that are kind of just in the ecosystem. And also Sheila has put in her contact information as well. So I'll be sharing that by email. If you want to jot that down from the chat, please feel free. I'll put mine in the chat as well if you'd like to have that right now. But like I said, I will follow up by email. It probably won't come out today just because there's some lag time with getting everything on YouTube. But just look out for that in your email. I will commit to definitely before the end of this week, you will have that. But I'll start off actually just by sending my contact information. That way, if you want to schedule a meeting ASAP, you can absolutely do that. And then I will send a follow-up email that includes the link for the YouTube playback. So I know, we have about 15 minutes. Does anybody have any questions that they might have that maybe they came up and they never really got answered? Or if you have any thoughts or anything like that, I want to keep the floor open in case you'd like to interact at all. And then you can feel free to say no, or just log off if you need to, but I wanted to leave the space there. Okay.
Everybody's
Well,
quiet.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume everybody is good. So again, like I said, you will be hearing from me through 2 different emails. I thank you so much for your attention and your presence today. Sheila, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation with all of that information.
Absolutely.
I know that that's going to be super useful for people, so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna stop that share so it's not distracting. So without further ado, or without further ceremony, I will go ahead and end our meeting today. Thank you once again, Sheila.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.